This is so cool. Wait, what's in that one?
Welcome back to Remembering the Razzies. Jacob,
Yes,
tell me an emoji that describes your feeling right now.
this is my emoji.
We watched the Emoji Movie today.
Man, it's not good.
I hate this movie. I hate 40-year-olds writing to children. I hate James Corden. I hate this movie, man.
Yeah, it's a real slog to get through, for sure.
So this movie is about the inside of a phone, a town of emojis, and we follow Gene, who is a meh emoji, and he just can't be meh. Then he meets fucking James Cordenhand, and James Cordenhand is like, I can take you to a hacker place to get you hacked so you can be meh. And then it's just a series of adventures through a phone, through different apps that are no longer relevant in this year, and they're being chased by robots sent by the smiling emoji, played by Maya Rudolph, who, despite being Maya Rudolph, is one of the most annoying characters.
Wasted.
Not the most annoying character, though, because that's still James Corden. Meh learns that he can maybe be more than just meh, and so does everybody else. And it's fucking awful time to get to that point.
I think conceptually the movie could work, going through the different worlds in a phone. Like, you could make a fun adventure out of that.
I think this movie is, they fed a computer the Lego Movie script and the Wreck-It Ralph script, and then the computer shat this out and was like, this is good, right?
It does feel like just some boardroom people were like, what are some apps on your kids' phones? They got the YouTubes.
How about that Just Dance app?
Well, no, that was after the fact, where they were like, all right, this movie is not gonna make money. It's not a good movie. We need a sponsorship. Just Dance was like, we got an app coming out, and they're like, awesome, we'll shoehorn that
There
in.
it is.
We're gonna devote a full 15 minutes to just that.
We'll get Christina Aguilera to play
Yeah.
giant dancing lady.
Who dies?
That's my biggest thing about this movie, is that children's animation is a great genre of filmmaking, and this is just one of the most soulless pieces of media that I've ever seen in my life. There's no heart to this.
Watching it, I just kept thinking of better movies that occasionally I would get a parallel to, where it's when Jailbreak and Gene are in the boat and they're sailing along, I'm like, oh, this is kind of like Tangled, except I like Tangled.
Everybody compared Jailbreak to Wild Style from the Lego Movie. This movie's just heavy Lego Movie, Wreck-It Ralph.
My biggest thing is just it's not funny. None of the jokes are funny, which is really unfortunate. While not everyone on the cast is good, they've got some good comedians in there.
And no one can pull it off.
Yeah, no one can tell a good joke. You would think that you'd let your voice actors improv a little bit, but none of this seemed improv, because I think if they did improv, it could have been a little funny. Sir Patrick Stewart is poop, which is a joke in it of itself, but all of his dialogue is just hey, I'm a poop. That's pretty funny, right? Most characters, which I guess fits in the lore, but most characters are just one note, where you look at them, you already know what their thing is. Ain't that funny?
A lot of dated references for only being 5 years old, like Candy Crush. Internet trolls have been beaten to death, so that's not funny. It wasn't even funny then.
Yeah.
Super not funny now. Spam emails, Dropbox.
I mean, I'm not an emoji guy. I know people use emojis, but even at the time, who cared about emojis, really?
Yeah, who saw an emoji and was like, I'm gonna make a movie off of this? I get it for other, the Lego Movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. They took a product and actually put love and care into a movie.
Right.
This one is just, like you said, a boardroom wrote a script.
It's got some really good boomer talking points, too. There's that line where Hand's like, oh, who needs friends? You got fans that love you. And then Gene's like, I just want real people in real life to love me. That's what matters to me, is real in-person connections. And it's so dumb.
The climax of the film is Gene sends a creative emoji through his owner's phone to the girl that the owner likes, and then the girl's like,
I like that you're one of those guys who can actually express his feelings.
it's a fucking emoji.
Yeah, it's a GIF,
And
essentially.
the thing is, like, Gene's saying is that he can change emoji faces. You can send more than one emoji.
Yeah, you're not restricted to just the one. Like, you pick a couple if you got more than one emotion.
Yeah.
It sucks, because when I talk about it, I'm like, yeah, it's really bad. Like, I like really bad movies. This is just, like, a boring movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, I feel like you probably should, but I'm not going to recommend it to you because it's just going to waste your time. You're not going to get anything out of it.
Even if you hadn't seen it, I wouldn't recommend this.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing of gain from this movie.
I just wish there was something to harp on about this movie, but it's just really boring
Yeah.
and not fun to watch.
Anyway, you want to talk about what it was nominated for?
I would love that.
This movie had 5 Razzie nominations and won 4. Worst Screenplay, Worst Screen Combo, Worst Director, Worst Picture. Let's start with Worst Screen Combo. This was nominated for any 2 obnoxious emojis.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I like them when they were individual either. It definitely sucked seeing things on screen.
Yeah, especially James Corden's character. I hate James Corden.
Yeah, he really is insufferable to watch, and it's kind of funny because he acts how I imagine he acts in real life, where like he thinks he's like this big shot and everyone should love him, but no one does, and so he's upset by that, and he's like, I gotta get the people's love back.
Yeah, worst screenplay. We've harped on this a lot, but yes,
It's a comedy that's not funny.
this is a corporate screenplay.
Right. I feel like very little kids would like this, but I don't think this is the deep pull, but this is like Dougal for modern day kids, where like it's not good, no one's gonna have fond memories of it, but like if you sit a kid down in front of it, they're gonna be like, all right, 5 years later they're not gonna look fondly on it. It's not like a Disney movie where it's like, oh, I want to pull this movie out from my childhood.
This is a movie that's written to put your kids in front of a TV and walk away.
Yeah.
It's in that area of kids are dumb, they'll watch anything, but no, kids like to not feel like they're dumb.
Or if nothing else, like just something that has good animation. And this one's just like very gross Sony Pictures animation.
Yeah,
I'm very meh right now.
yeah, I
Sorry.
know. No, I get it.
My
It's
energy's gone.
Worst director.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any direction could have saved this.
For me, it really just falls on how poorly the script was made.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this was done by amateurs.
No.
This looks like it was a professional company. Sure, it could have done a lot better, and Sony Pictures proved that like a year or 2 later with Spider-Verse.
Right.
I will say, I mean, maybe it was because I was hyper-focused, but I don't think the pacing was terrible.
No, I mean, yeah, they move from location to location, but none of the locations were more enjoyable to watch than the other
Yeah,
ones. So
yeah.
it doesn't really matter because you're just going from like boring to boring.
Yeah, bad direction.
Right.
But again, you can't save it. You could attach Steven Spielberg to this project and he would not save this.
Yeah, there's no director that could have made this better unless they just rewrote the script.
Yeah.
It just
okay.
doesn't work as a concept.
Let's talk about Worst Picture. This was nominated against Transformers: The Last Night, The Mummy, 50 Shades Darker, and Baywatch.
I mean, I didn't like 50 Shades Darker.
No, me neither. But I would rather watch that 10 times than watch this movie.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I would rather watch 50 Shades Darker than this.
The other movies at least seem entertaining, like Transformers, Baywatch, and The Mummy. Like,
Yeah.
I would watch those.
For sure. I saw Baywatch in theaters, and I remember thinking, like, it's alright. I know for a fact that it at least made me laugh one time,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
this movie did not.
Yeah, even 50 Shades Darker, I would probably laugh a lot at that movie.
That's true. I'd probably be a lot more entertained, to be
Yeah.
honest.
The Emoji Movie is not only the worst picture of this year, probably the worst picture of my life.
Jesus Christ.
Would you like to rank this?
I would love to rank this.
Okay, let's start with Best Made. Now, I know we've shit on this a lot. I don't know if I would say this is the worst one we've seen.
Yeah, at least in terms of production value.
I think I'd put this probably below Jack and Jill.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't
like-
put it any lower than that.
Jack and Jill's jokes were bad, but there were like at least 2 that made me laugh.
Well, that's entertainment.
Oh
That's
yeah, I'm
entertaining.
sorry. You're right.
See, I'd put it a little higher up. I'd put it below Fan 4 Stick. Because Last Airbender had some visual bullshit that
Yeah.
happens. This one, I never was trashing how it looked.
But at least Fan 4 Stick, like, even though it kind of fell off at the end, the story was a little better written. The characters were a little better written.
Yeah.
It's close, but yeah, I would also put it between Fan 4 Stick and Airbender. Most entertaining. Okay, now I would put it below Jack and Jill.
I might put it under Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas.
Kirk Cameron at least was unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
And like, if you give it a couple years and you forget all the bullshit in it, then it's funny again. The Emoji Movie, I will never watch again.
Yeah.
But if I did watch it again, God forbid, it would just be as miserable, if not more miserable, than watching it right now.
To me, it's like just mental static. It's just like my brain didn't exist for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It just was happening.
It was just there. Right. Well, that's the Emoji Movie. I'm
bad.
so glad that's off my chest.
Yeah, now we only got good movies. What's happening next
thank
week?
Goodness. Next week is a movie that I'm sure is going to be great, and I've never heard bad things about it. It's Holmes and Watson.
Wow, a movie so infamously bad that people walked out of the theater, and I heard that multiple times about that movie.
Yes, dude.
So, do the emoji dance. Emoji pop, Tristan. They wanted everyone to do it. Alright, the emoji pop.
What if I threw up on camera?
Oh, that'd be sick. Can you do that?